Welcome to Oklahoma High School Girls Basketball Between the Lines with my man Coach V on a Saturday morning. What's up, Coach?
Nothing. Playoffs have started.
Man, Coach, I love it, man. Everybody talking playoffs. Got a chance to watch Mark Rogers and Lenny's Happy Show on the OSSA breakdown of the 6A and 5A girls basketball brackets. They talked about the boys, but Coach, I don't know that much about the boys, so I got to get myself up.
Yeah.
It's all good. But, Coach, good morning on a Saturday morning. So you drinking a little bit of coffee.
Got it.
That's it.
Game film, coffee, got game tonight.
Game tonight. Well, folks, we come on this Saturday morning to talk about 4A girls basketball. Monday, we will be over at a position with Britt Chase. It's going to come over there. We're going to talk a little bit of injury. Try to help us understand how we can try to prevent these injuries for these young, beautiful ladies that's getting these ACLs and all these little bangs and bruises. So he's going to talk to us a little bit about it. We're going to probably break down 3A and 2A. I know some games are already going to be played. We're going to get into some of them second rounds matchups and get it going. You know, like I said, 4A is different than 5A and 6A because 4A, 3A, 2A, you lose two, you're out.
Yeah, you get double elimination.
Double elimination.
Wait a minute, let me help you out.
Help me, Coach.
In 2A, if you got three teams in the district, two teams play, and that one's out, and the other one moves on.
Okay.
Sometimes you have a three-team district, and then two teams play on a Friday, and then the winner plays Saturday. But the loser on Friday, they're done.
Okay. There were some games last night, I think.
Bethel and that group started from 3A started last night. So 4A started as well.
Yeah. So, like I said, I know we're not late, but we're not on time, but we're gonna give it to you anyway. But like I said, some big time matchups in the 4A. You know, we'll break it down the best we can. Coach knows a little bit more about this district. This is the district he's in. Him and his lady Panthers gonna be fighting to try to get to that big house, folks. If you see it on the screen, pop it up real quick, Coach. You're not playing at the old house. You're playing at the new house, OG.
You know, that kind of looks like, that slant. It looks like the Vikings stadium, don't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Got a little touch to it. But those two guys right there next to the picture is me and Coach V talking playoffs. Because, hey, this is what it's all about. Everybody is 0-0 right now. So as the season kicks off, it's a new season. This is a season that counts because there's no tomorrow. There's no my bad, like Coach always say. It's time to get busy. You got to hit your free throws. You got to hit your layups. You got to make your shots. You know who's going to play good defense. If you're playing lazy defense and not get back, guess what? Team's going to jump out on you, Coach. We're going to start off in what area with Lincoln Christian and Wagner. They kick off. Lincoln Christian got one of the best players in the state of Oklahoma. About to go play her college collegians at Nebraska in the Maddie Stewart. Mom's a coach. Great team. A young lady that we know really well has come back and might maybe help them in the playoff is Miss Haley. Like I said, this team is loaded. Got a bunch of young ladies going to go off and play college ball. You got the Willoughby young lady that we had on the show. I think just a sophomore is having a heck of a season. And then they got the young lady that's going to go off to Wichita State. Her dad used to be the coach over at Booker T. I'm not sure the first name. Coach, you might be able to help me if you know the name.
I can't think of the top of my head.
So there we go.
It's Levea, something like that.
Yeah, but I got a chance to watch her senior night highlights the other day, and a great ball player. Like I said, Wichita State's going to get a great player in her. Wagner, it's going to be a tough matchup for them when you go against a young lady that can play inside and outside. And Maddie Stewart, love her game all around. I got a chance to watch her at the Lincoln Christian tournament. This young lady can go. Got a great post move for a young lady that's a guard. It's going to be a guard in college, but she can get down low and post you up and make some great moves. But this team is loaded. Like I said, they're probably favored to win 4A, but I know Douglas and some of the other teams in 4A got something to say about it. So a great matchup between, like I said, them and Wagner. And then you go down and you got
and Iola.
Iola, there it is, Iola. I'll tear some names up. Anything about them, Coach, that you can speak on, or just?
They're both solid teams. I mean, they're going to run their stuff, but in this district, neither one of them are ranked. But they played each other, familiar with each other up in that northeast area. So I'm sure they got their game plans ready. But I don't get the chance to see them very much. I mean, I know Vertigus used to be a powerhouse. Probably about 10 years ago, they were at state tournament, and Inola's been there a couple of times. So. The programs do have some history as far as making state tournament.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Then you're gonna move on to Ulaga. That's who we was talking about. Ulaga and Miami. Two teams like you said down out the other side of town, Coach. Now you probably show me a map to get there, but two good teams, like I said. That I don't know. They got
on your way to Branson, brother. You're on your way to Branson.
I don't know if either of these teams got a chance to do big work in the 4A tournament, but
Ulaga made very far last year. They got a post player, Sebra. And then they've got a really good, I believe she's a freshman, sophomore point guard. So they can make some noise. They made some noise last year. I think they got the area last year. Miami's a program that's been struggling for years. Went through some coaches. And so I'm going to go ahead and give Ulaga that nod right there.
Yes, sir. Then you got Bethany.
Bethany comes in as the number 2 seed in their area. I mean, Lincoln and Bethany were the top 2 teams. Bethany's got the Donnelly kid. They've got the Cameron kid, the post kid. So they got 2 6-footers. I don't know if Molly Garrison's back from her injury yet to play. She's a transfer from Community Christian that plays. I believe she plays with BTR or Legends, one of those groups. And then Eric does a good job. Coach Taylor does a good job. He'll have them ready to go.
Bethany's a strong, program. I know for years. I got a chance to watch them a few years back and over in the Mustang tournament. I think they had one of the Vian sisters.
Vian sisters.
Yeah, so this is a traditional basketball program that's had some good girls come through. There's one state of a few times, but like I said, with 4A with Lincoln Christian doing the things they do, and then like I said with Douglas, it's gonna be tough, but like I said, Bethany's a good team. You can't count them out. Like you said, number 2 ranked, so can do some big things. You got Weatherford and Clinton. Weatherford's a team that's it's not a bad team. I know they've played some 6A teams.
Beat us by 1.
Excuse me. Would you say, Coach?
They beat us by 1. They got the Gibbons kid. I think people don't know about the Gibbons kid. The kid.
That's the young lady. Is that the young lady that moved in?
Yeah, Coach's daughter moved in from Duncan. Yeah, I mean she's very athletic. Probably getting about 18 a game. She's definitely the key to that team. They have some other kids that can shoot. But it runs through the Gibbons kid, and she's definitely one of the top players in the state. I just don't know. The thing about this, I think they're playing each other for like the 5th time. So I think Weatherford's handled Clinton each time. So Coach does a good job. Coach Jefferson does a good job at Clinton. He's just young.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Then you come in with Elk City and Woodward.
Again, these are teams that play each other in conference, and so they're very familiar with each other. Elk City's solid. Got some good guard play. Woodward's got a really good guard that I was impressed with, but she's just not going to play college ball. She's going to go to school. But again, though, these are teams that play each other. It'd be like saying you and Midwest City playing each other for 5th time. After a while, the records go out because you played each other so much.
Yeah, you know each other. I mean, you know each other's moves, and you really ain't got to pop in game film to watch it because they're gonna do what they did the game before. Then you got Community Christian and John Marshall. Community Christian was the team that that used to be on top. Is that what Venable's daughters used to go before?
Yeah,
they left.
They lost a lot of pieces. They left. The Venable kids left, went to Heritage Hall, and then the Garrison kid, the guard I was talking about, went to Bethany, and then they lost the senior, that Hanscock kid that went to ORU. So after last year's, and the coach went to Norman.
Yes.
So he was a total rebuild, but a good team still. I've watched them on film, and they're a good team, but total rebuild.
Yes, sir. Shout out real quick to Addie Hibble. Big game last night against Norman North. I think she ended with 25 points, hitting like 6 threes. So I love to see this. This is a young lady that you had, I think, on the show as a comeback kid, and she signed with UCO. And I'm telling you right now, Miss Hibble is saying, hey, before my senior year is over, I'm gonna knock off some people and try to make a run for the state championship in the class 6A. So congratulations to her, because they got beat up by Norman the first time they played, and she came down. And this is a rival, folks, kind of like the Carl Albert Midwest City or Dell City. It's right there in the backyard. They're not too far from each other. They can probably bump into each other at Walmart 212 there in Norman. So that's how close they are to each other and seeing each other. So congratulations to her and her team, and good luck. And like I said, I know Choctaw's going to have their hands full with her next week.
Yeah.
We'll move on to Area 2, Coach.
All right. Let's hop to it.
All right. We're going to start off in Area 2. This is you got Lone Grove and Plainview.
I'm gonna give Lone Grove the nod here. They're Yeah, I've seen Plainview play in a tournament, and they're rebuilding. They don't have much. They play hard, and Lone Grove's had a good year, so I'm gonna say Lone Grove on that one.
Then you got the team that was, I think, runner-up last year, Douglas. I'm not Douglas. Douglas with the outstanding guard and Justice. I think she's one of the top guards in the state of Oklahoma. This girl, I watched her play from last year to this year. Got a chance to go watch her play against Millwood. And then won their games this year, won the Soul Bowl games. And I'll tell you, I really liked her game. Her jump shot is really nice. Her penetration, get to the hole. And she plays defense. A lot of times you see these guards as guards. They're just offensive players, but she's a great defensive player. She's just a sophomore. Like I said, I mean, she still has a lot of room to grow. I think she's going to be a fit for everybody in this tournament. I think when teams do go against her, they're going to have to put 2 or 3 girls on her, probably try to face guard her, right guard her, and any kind of guard her. But she's going to be a fit for anybody to play. I think Douglas got some pieces to get there, but I just think that, like I said, when you still talk about Lincoln Christian and what they got with Maddie Stewart and some of the other girls they got on the team, it's going to be a tough matchup, if they make it that far. But they're going against Star Spencer. Star Spencer's a team. It's not – I want to say I think they got a great young coach. They just don't have all the pieces right now to compete at this level, and they will. You got to just keep getting kids to come in, and when you got a good coach, people want to come play for a good coach. So, but I'm gonna get a nod. I mean, probably like we both will probably get this nod to Douglas.
Well, and then you got Cash Sulphur. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Bo Thompson. Cash does a good job. He's around 500. I don't think he has a senior. I mean, he's sophomores, juniors, freshmen, so he doesn't have a senior. So young team. So if they can make any move in the playoffs, that's definitely a momentum builder, something to work for. So, I think they'll get by Sulphur, and then they'll run into Douglas the second round, and then they may have to go left on that one after that. But, and then talk about Bridge Creek, who's ranked number 16, kind of out of nowhere. I mean, they've been around and been like that fourth one on the block between Tuttle, Newcastle, and Blanchard over in that Tri-City area.
Yes, sir.
And they've had a good year. They've got a really good guard I've seen play in the summer, and she leads them. And so Bridge Creek, she could make a move all the way to – I think they could get all the way to the winners. They could win their first 2 games and looking at that deal there with Blanchard and Elgin.
Yeah, then you look at Ada and Medill. Ada's a team that you played just a few weeks back. Ada's a good team. Like I said, mm-hmm. I think they're still kind of young and got some players, but I think they'll be getting some help pretty soon. Wasn't one of the young ladies you just had on the show?
Yeah, Kaylee Reed gonna be a 5'9" freshman next year. But the thing about that one is they have a really good post player now who I think could be one of the most improved sophomores, and that's the Ava Campos kid at the post. She's about 6 foot, mid-range shooter, nice right or left over. And so she's had a really good solid year, probably around 14 points, maybe 8 rebounds a game. And so, you add some more height to that. They just need a guard play, and when you're missing a kid that went to where she ended up going.
She went to Grind Prep. You talking about
No, she graduated though. She went to SMU.
Yeah, no. She ended up signing with Auburn, coach. She started
Auburn, okay. So she's at Auburn. So you miss somebody like that, Sanaya Richardson. I mean, so they just need some guard play, but they'll have some height coming up, though.
Yeah, yes, sir. They will. They will have some coming up. When you get, like I said, when you bring the freshmen up that you just had on the show, it's going to be big time. You look at McLeod Tecumseh. I'm pretty sure these teams have probably played each other 1 or 2 times this season. Like I said, when you start talking about district play, McLeod is a team. I got a chance to go watch them play. A week or 2 ago against Washington. Everybody knows how good Washington is. Favored to win the win state in their class. McLeod, with the twins. I mean, two young ladies that can get downhill really quick, plays good defense, and they like to go inside. I know they got the Lewis young lady, a softball player, and they got another young lady. They like to go inside too. So I think if the inside game is working, it helps the outside game. But Washington did a really good job on them the night they played them at McLeod. At that time, McLeod was sitting at 23-0. Took their first loss against Washington, but it's not tough. I mean, it's not upset to be because Washington is going to knock off a lot of people because of just how good they are. But like I said, I think McLeod can make a run. But like I said, when you start getting to teams that can clog up that inside game, it's kind of slow them down a little bit.
Well, in this area, you've got McLeod and Douglas, and they're going to play each other probably to go to state, and the loser is going to come out. And they're going to play at Paul's Valley, at Bridge Creek, somebody of that nature. I think Paul's Valley would be my third seed in this one. Elgin does have the Carter kid at Post. It's really good. A softball kid as well. But this area is, as we call it, a tough way to get back in the backside because whoever gets state, you're going to have to beat a Douglas or McLeod if you're that third team, and that's going to be a tough task, beating one of those in the area consolation game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Then you look at we finish this bracket off, this area 2 off. It's gonna be Blanchard and Elgin. You kind of talked about Blanchard and Elgin. I mean, Elgin's a team that's done some good things this year. Elgin's a team that used to be in 5A. I think they dropped down to 4A now. It's gonna be really interesting, Coach. You start seeing these independent teams they voted on, and these not independents, but like the private schools. I think they're gonna be able to pick their class, so you can start seeing Lincoln Christian and some of these teams go back down to a lower class. Like Lincoln can go all the way down to 2A, and like Bishop McGinnis next year, they can probably go back down to 4A. So it's gonna be really, really interesting when you start shaking this up a little bit because these teams are going to move around. I mean, especially when you're looking at a team like a Bishop McGinnis, are they really a 5A team? They're probably better fit for a 4A or 3A. They probably can do more damage there. But, when you start looking at the numbers, man, I mean, it's like the other day, when Carl Albert played Edmond Memorial, Edmond Memorial got 25 girls on the bench and Carl Albert has 14. That just makes a big difference when you're a bigger school. That's why I was telling somebody, that's why they got different classes. I tipped my hat off to 6A because 6A, you do got to bring it every night, because you're playing great, against a lot of girls that, when you got 25 girls, 30 girls you can pick from, you're going to find 7 to 8 good girls and maybe 10 girls that you can have the first team, second team, and the third team. So it's going to be really interesting. But like I said, Elgin, like I said, it's been in 5A. I've got a chance to watch them when they was playing Carl Albert. One of their top players that left Elgin is over at Dell. So imagine having her at Elgin, how good they would be. Plus what they already got. So it just tells you when these kids move around, it can hurt a little bit. Blanchard, Coach, anything on Blanchard?
Coach Skikes, he does a good job over there. I mean, I think they're kind of young. I mean, they lost. They have one guard that was back last year, and they lost their leading scorer who went to Ampo in the middle of the year last year. But he's going to do a good job. He's going to run and jump. He's going to press you. They're going to play hard. They're going to be scrappy. And so, you have his team ready for playoffs. I mean, they can make some moves. I mean, again, in this one, when you got McLeod and you got Douglas sitting there, coming in on a Friday, because you're going to be playing, coming through the loser bracket, you're going to play Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you're going to get a Douglas or McLeod on your third game in 3 days.
Yes, sir. That's tough. You better have your A game, and you better have some backups because you're going to be from running, 3 games is a lot. And
McLeod and Douglas are built to play 2 games in a day like that. They're going to play Friday. They're going to play Friday. Winner goes to state. The loser comes back on Saturday, but they're made that way. They're guard oriented. They're up tempo. They're going to run. So you're going to be coming in your third game. Now sometimes that's a momentum. You got a little momentum going, compared to trying to regroup and get back in. But I think McLeod and Douglas, either one of those groups can regroup on a Saturday and get back, and both of them should make state.
Yes, sir. Then you go to Area 3. You start off with Salazar and Hisdale. Any word on them?
Salazar's ranked, been up and down all year. I haven't seen them play. I know they got a couple of kids that can play that follow us. So I think they should be okay in that game. It'll be that second game where they're going to play Fort Gibson. Now those kids I'm a little familiar with. I've had them on the show. We've had Zoe on the show, Avery, and then we got a really nice post player, a sophomore, young but athletic and love to compete. So, so they'll be in that second round, Sawsaw and Fort Gibson. I'd probably have Fort Gibson moving forward on that one. Then you go down. I don't know much about, Muldrow. Muldrow used to be a 4A power. About 10 years ago, they were in a state tournament like every year. Poto, same way. They played each other. I mean, again, they know each other very well. And so, when you go records and you go playoffs, you throw it out the window. I mean, these are teams that know each other. Now, Broken Bow has a young lady that we had on, Jalen.
Jalen, yes, sir.
And then they've got the Woosley kid who's a 6'2" post player. And, they got the other guard that she mentioned and very athletic. They're going to zone you, man you, but they're going to push tempo, and you better cover Jalen. I mean, she can drop 40 on you.
Yeah.
I mean,
it gets her whole team out of Bill too, So she's gonna get a lot of noise thrown at her that way, playing that game back at they're playing at Broken Bow, but I'm saying she's gonna have the crowd all on her, man, because like I said, you was with us, you helped us win the state championship. Now
she's gonna have that hoodie on like Don. She's gonna have that hoodie on like Don.
Yeah, like Don. Boo. Hey, I think she's gonna get more. I think she's gonna get more than some boos. I think she's gonna get the siren thrown at her, coach. They gonna have the siren on her. They gonna have the siren.
Hey, all I know is Jay better not shoot an air ball because she will know about it, huh?
She would know about it. Everybody, that game's gonna be packed, coach. Like I said, it's gonna be a great great first round. But like I said, I don't think Idabel has enough to hang with Jada. She's one of the top players in Class 4A. So young ladies already getting offers and stuff like that. So looking forward to see how far they can go. I mean, Broke Bow's a team. It's a good team. Like I said, when you can add a young guard like her to your team, and then plus having a post game, it can go a long way. Like I said, I love the post game, coach, because I think the post game slows the game down a little bit, and especially you move it around. One thing about is moving that ball movement. A lot of these teams get stale. Still, they hit one and they stop and they're shooting. Sometimes you got to hit that ball movement, man, especially now when you don't have a shot clock. I know the other night I went back and watched film. We got the ball with 2 minutes and 33 seconds left. We could have passed the ball 25 times and make them come out and foul us. Now we got to hit foul shot, but we're shooting shots we don't need to take. Kids, pay attention. It's all about the shot selection. Get to a layup, get foul. We don't need no three. We're up by 4 or 5. Don't need a three. They're the ones behind. We're playing into their hands when we're shooting the ball. Now, if the three goes in, the coach is like, yes. But when it misses, he's stomping his feet and he's shaking his head. As a coach, I would too. It's all about paying attention. I always tell my people, pay attention to details. Know what's going on. That's all I got to say on that, coach.
That's all needs to be said. Nothing else to be said. That's all needs to be said.
Now we go down to Fort Gibson. This young lady's probably, they play today, but she's probably out in the weight room getting some weights up real quick. And my young lady Zoe, just a freshman, is having a good year. We follow her a lot on Twitter. She follows us, so I'm really proud of this young lady. Got really good length. I think she's probably about 5'10", 5'11". She might be taller, but I tell you, I like this girl because she's always working hard. Mm-hmm. And when you got a young lady that's always trying to get better, I cheer for those girls. Those are girls that I cheer for because they want to be good. I got a chance to watch them play Midwest City out there in the McAllister tournament. Midwest City got them, but I tell you that they do got a good little post game too. So this team can be streaky but scary. It's a team that if you don't come out and play your A game, guess what? You can end up with an L real quick, and they're going to move on. So you have them playing Stillwell. Don't know much about Stillwell, so Coach, if you do, take over from here.
Well, like I said, Fort Gibson, is set young. I said young. You got, like I said, you got the Zoe High kid. You got Avery Skaggs as the other guard. They got a nice little 1-2 combination to play together. And then you're going to talk about, where you want to get down at. You want to get down to us now?
Let's skip you. We'll come back to you.
Thank you.
Let's go to Chickasha. Chickasha team that you face this year going against Western Heights. Chickasha shouldn't have time. I tell you, folks, if you get a chance to get over to Chickasha and you get a chance to watch them play, grab a bag of that popcorn. Best popcorn I've had, folks. I'm telling you, they have the best popcorn, and I love me some popcorn. If you catch me at any game, Coach got a bag last night. We was over at the Bigsby Mustang game, watching it. Great game. I know that's 6A, but great game between between Bigsby and Mustang. Katie them had the lead. I thought at the end of the game, I felt like they played not to lose, and they lost. Up by 9 with 6 minutes left in the game. Bigsby went on a good run, had some good caused some turnovers, came down and hit some big shots. Folks, I know this is 6A, but I'm going to talk about Bigsby real quick. They got some girls that can shoot, got a little post game too. These girls can shoot lights out. Don't ever think they're out of a ball game. We had a dad that sat behind us, man, and he was kind of hilarious. It sounded like me yelling, but it wasn't me. So I think all dads are the same. It's kind of like deja vu. I'm looking back at him, and I said, that young lady must be your daughter. He said, yes, she is. I might not claim it tonight if she keeps some layups. He said that. But lucky she was riding the bus back home because I think if they would have lost that game, she would have had to find a ride home, Coach. But like I said, Chickasha is a good team. Coach, you faced them this year already. How did that go?
We're good. I mean, they got everybody back. They had 4 starters back, and they brought in the Matty Hill kid who's made a difference. The kid that came in from Kiefer, and she's made a big difference. So they have nice post players. They got good shooters, and they got good scrappers. I mean, Ashley does a good job in the post. Mia does a good job as far as scoring. They have shooters. They have point guard. They have a post, and then the Addie Ferguson kid is a scrapper. So they have everything you need there. Not much bench, not much at all, but their first 5 are pretty solid, and they cover everything you need. If you're putting a team together, you need a post player. I got one. You need a point guard. I got one. You need a shooter. I got one. Now I need that girl gets on the ball for 50-50. I got that one. So they have those. But, the deal is they don't have much depth, so you just got to take it to them. Good team, they're deserving of where they're at. I've got no problem with that. And, hopefully we get to that point where we get to play them on a Saturday to go to area.
Coach, something that you said, I mean, just every one of these teams you kind of mentioned, you talk about post game is if you see in a 5A, in a 6A, it's like we don't talk about the post game. Is it more in the lower classes, the 4-3-2?
Ashley's a post, but really she's a high post player. I mean, she played she transferred from UConn. After her sophomore year, she transferred from UConn. And she's a high post kid. If you wanted to play a Princeton offense, really good passer. I mean, she's like a joker passer at the high post. I mean, she just, there you go. But she can step out and shoot the 3, which makes her dangerous. I think at a 6A, maybe a post player is a little bit more athletic in the sense of they're 6'1", but they look like a guard. And so you don't see it much, maybe because the defense is a little bit more pressure. But I don't know if I've seen a 6A with a true post player besides maybe Norman North.
Yeah, Coach. I mean, when you start talking about it, we don't talk a lot about post players. I know Dale City got a good one in the Sinai young lady, but you start looking at some of the teams. I know Carl Albert, got Brinley Annabelle that kind of plays down there. I said Brinley Annabelle, that's sister twins. Brinley Crawford that played. I was calling him Brinley Annabelle. We know you. Yeah, you know what I mean. The other people might not, but they got Brinley, and I know Richie has always played the 5 out, so it's something he's had to adjust to, though. But when she does get in the game, she does make some big plays down there. So it's I feel like now, if you start looking at it in the NBA, you see these guys are 6'11", 7 foot. They're out shooting threes. So I don't know if people's got away from the post game, because back in the day when in the NBA you had your Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you had your Elijah Watt and Robert Parrish. You saw the post game. Well, now it seems like these kids are that's tall now. They're not playing out. They're playing out top, shooting threes. So I think the post game has got away a little bit from the 5A and 6A, like you said. I mean, if you look at PC North, they don't have a post game, and they're one of the top teams in 6A. You look over at some of these other teams. I mean, you look at the Muskogee. They got some big girls, but they're all guards. So it's kind of crazy. When you start talking, 4A and 3A and 2A, they talk about the post a lot, because one thing that you mentioned every one of these teams that we've kind of talked about, you mentioned post game. So I don't know much more about Douglas. I think they got more of a run and gun offense than they do.
The Burge kid is a good kid that can go inside out for Douglas. I mean, she's really a guard, but I've seen her post up. It becomes a matchup problem. Yes, if you're small guards and you got one kid that's 5'9", go tell her post up, and make a mismatch out of the situation. So you do have some teams that have post players, but they're really kind of like guards, big guards. But if you put a little guard on them, then you can go post them up. I mean, the days of, Lajuan, the footwork, Tim Duncan, the footwork. I mean,
yes, sir.
Those are gone. But I tell you what, they're valuable if someone wants to really get. I never figured out. I'm 6'1". I'm going to stand out and shoot threes. I'm going to hit 2 threes, get 6 points. Okay, great. Or I can go inside and knock me down 20.
Yes, sir.
Now, which one do you want? Do you want a 6'1" post player and knows how to get to the rim, knows how to finish at the rim and get 20? Or do you want a 6'1" kid that stands out there and shoots 2 threes and gets 6 points? I mean, go get your money. Go get your money. I mean, if you're a guard and you can drive, why shoot threes? Go drive. Get your 20.
Yes, sir. Get to that mid-range. That's why That's why he's so tough in the NBA, because he gets to that mid-range like the young lady over at Texas. If you look at her game, man, I mean, her game's all inside. She's not out. She's not out shooting threes. She's in that mid-range, and so I really like that. Now we're going to come back to the Hair Panthers. Here we go. Coach with his 6 seniors, man. I mean, these girls had a great season last year. I mean, Coach comes out with 20 wins again this year. Congratulations to you, Coach.
Thank you.
I got to give you some love on that real quick, man, because like I said, you start looking at it, man, one more time. Congratulations to you, Coach. Yeah. But, you start looking at, getting 20 wins. I mean, I know that's a lot of coaches when you start the season, you start looking at the bracket. I mean, you're looking at your schedule. I think that's one of the coaches, jobs they want to have is 20 wins. I think they feel good about that. And, talk to some coaches, CJ and those guys, man. I know Andre, when they first played over there at Deer Creek when his daughter was a freshman, I think they won 7 games. I think they won more, these last 2 years. But like you get another 20-win season. That's big for you. Got a good chance tonight to get 21. Have your 21st victory done tonight. You'll be taking on the Mount St. Mary. The first time you played them, Coach, it was a 50-piece. Second time, you only got 10 nuggets. So, what's some of the things that you got to do tonight to ensure the win against a gritty Mount St. Mary team that's, it's kind of undersized, but they're going to give you everything they want. Shout out to London Long, a freshman over there. They got another guard that gets downhill. And I mean, the time I watched you guys play them, she did a really good job. Got to her right a lot. I mean, I think somebody on the Hair Panthers got to step up and make her go left and D her up a little bit, because if you let this girl get out and do her thing, she can cause some problems. So, what's the game plan tonight on that, Coach?
Well, a couple things, and I'm not an excuse type of guy, but, we came in off a Thursday game. I don't know if we practiced but one day, because that was after the Kingfisher ice storm.
Yes, sir.
And so I think we practiced for an hour and a half and went and played. So our legs were there, but I'm going to tell you, Mount's a hard gym to shoot in. I've never shot well for 3 years.
In that gym?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's hard to shoot there for us.
Coach, probably because the sideline is so tight. If you man, it's tight. Couldn't. I'm a big guy, Coach. I couldn't fit on that sideline to throw the ball in.
Yeah, I mean, we've never shot well. So, but we looked at it as we weren't playing the way we needed to play. We didn't make adjustments, and maybe we weren't thinking right because our legs were tired. I mean, but we're ready. I mean, we know a game plan. I mean, you got London, you got I believe it's the Jefferson kid or Jackson kid. So we're ready. I mean, and that's the difference of, I believe, the first game, second game is it was at our place. We were in shape. We were ready to go. We were coming off good victories when we played them the first time. I think we were coming off of might have been Tuesday right before Panther Classic.
Yes, sir.
So, we were ready to go. And so I think we'll be all right tonight. I mean, we got to definitely guard and force people one way or the other. And we got to shoot well. I mean, my shooter's doing well. I mean, Sailor Eaton is dropping down buckets. I mean, she's had games of 29, 24, reached her 1,000-point mark last week. Allison Price has found her outside shot again. And then I've got guards, Paisley and Brooke, and then Maggie holds down the middle. So, and then I got the kid that I had on comeback kid, Meredith, who's had, 2 hip surgeries that could be my best defender, actually, if I put her on somebody. And she'll have that job tonight. I'll probably guard number 12. I mean, that's her job. And she does a good job. So I think we're ready. I mean, we kind of been waiting for this. We talked about our season, 20 wins. That's congratulations to my coaches and my players. Yes, but we looked at it and we got excited about where do you want to be when it comes to playoffs, and this is where we wanted to be. That's why we grind all year to make sure that we didn't try to get a McLeod or Douglas that way. We got Broken Bow, Chickasha, Tuttle. Purcell's going to be a nice little squad we play hopefully in the second round. And so you got some teams there that are good, but I think we're all the same. I mean, I really do. I think who plays that night, who puts it in the hole, and who stays out of foul trouble.
No, Coach, you talk about your team. Like I said, you got 6 seniors, man, that's been there. This is their last run to the eyes to the gold ball. This is a slogan I'm using this year, eyes to the gold ball, because this is it, and you lose 2, you're going home, and I think they're gonna make a run. You talked about your shooter. She's averaging over 20-some points a game. Like I said, and you got some girls coming back off injury. I know you got a freshman that's pretty good, and Maddie. Is she gonna get a chance to step in and play, or is she still kind of just building herself back?
We're done. I mean, her coming in right now, she hasn't played yet, so we're going to let her just focus on having a good spring season, summer, and develop right now. I mean, we're too far in the season for you to kind of get back in and not. Now, we did get Haley Perry in. She went concussion on a Chandler game, taking a charge, and so she's back tonight. So that'll give us our 8-man rotation that we've been rolling with all season, and that'll get us back to 8.
Coach, let's talk about that real quick before we go to this last area. You talk about rotation. Like, when do you know when it's time to pull them and let them get the break? Or, how does that go? I know a lot of coaches, I've seen this, watching the games this year, a lot of coaches get to that minute mark or that 40-second mark right before the second quarter starts, and then they'll take a young lady out, and then, is that kind of like get them a quick breather real quick and, steal some time real quick before that second quarter or third quarter start?
Well,
how do you do it?
Well, that goes back to used to be like I believe the theory got kind of brought up about Michael Jordan. They used to count minutes that he's off, that minutes that he had rest, but really only a minute and a half came off the clock. So let's say minute and a half, you get a minute for in between quarter is 2.5 minutes. Dead ball, another 20 seconds to get it in. Shooting foul, another 30, 40 seconds. And so for a minute and a half, that player could get a 4 to 5 minute break on the bench. And so sometimes that's why you see a coach do it like a minute and a half or a minute and 10 before quarter, because they've went for 7 minutes, almost 6.5 or 6.5 maybe. Give them a minute and a half. By the time they get to start the second quarter, they probably had a 5-minute breather.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, we'll go to this area 4. You got Perkins, Tryon, and against Berry Hill.
Berry Hill is a team that I think people are sleeping on. You might know them by name because a lot of them play with JYD. But you've got tall kids that can shoot, and you've got some kids that can mid-range. I think Berry Hill's a team that people are sleeping on. Their team, that'd be a hard matchup because they are tall. I mean, they've got 3 kids that are 6 foot that can score, and the coach does a good job there.
Locust Grove, Coach, Scott took, Locust Grove's a team that we got a chance to face out there in Tournament of Champions. Mm-hmm. Put it together, and I mean, this is what you want to do going into the playoffs. And I tell people all the time, you want to start playing your best basketball at the middle of January, going into February, and then your great basketball going into the month of March. So that's why it's called March Madness, because anything can happen, anybody can win, anybody can lose. So Locust Grove is the team that a little bit about too.
Yeah, you got the Stokes sisters. You got Claire and her sister out there to sign with OBU, the shooter. I don't know who the 5th starter is, but she's not a family member. That's all I know. You got 2 sisters on one end, 2 sisters on the other, and you're the 5th one in. I mean, so they're a good team. I mean, you played them. I mean, very balanced.
Yeah.
The Stokes kid could be a tough matchup.
She's tall. She can stretch.
Tall, long. I mean. One of the top players, I think, in the 2027 class. You've got good shooters. Claire and her sister are really good shooters. So good squad. I don't know. I haven't seen them play, but I know they're a good squad, and they've had tough competition, so they've been tested.
Yes, sir. Then you got Catoosa, and then Eufaula. Eufaula, I know about the lake.
Yep. Jason does a good job of Eufaula. They've been up and down, but that's youth, and then. I've got a young lady coming on the show tomorrow, Olivia Bowman from Catoosa. She's a 6-foot guard, averaging a double-double. I had her on the show. I haven't posted it yet, but I have her, and I've just got to edit it. But Catoosa, it's not going to be cupcake for Eufaula. And I think Catoosa played Locust Grove, and the young lady told me she had, against Locust Grove, she had 23 points, 11 rebounds.
Yeah, that's big. That's a double-double. That's a nice double-double right there.
Yeah,
Then you got McLean and Veneta.
Veneta, Nathan does a good job up there, and he's got some post kids. He's got nice size posts. Guard play, I don't know what he's got, but I know he's got the I don't remember her name, but he's got a post player and her sister, and they're going to scrap. Nathan's going to coach hard. Coach Wiley's going to coach hard, and they're going to scrap. And so they're a team that kind of, don't sleep on.
Yes, sir. Then you got Manford and Central.
Manford's got the kid. I can't remember. I don't want to butcher her last name. She knows who she is, but she's about a 6-foot shooter. She's a younger sister. I believe her older sister was Bella. But this lady is this young girl is like Caitlin Clark. She's got range, can shoot, average probably about 15, 16 a game, and then Central Tulsa, I don't know anything about. I really don't. I don't see Tulsa City Schools. I don't even know where their record is, to tell you the truth. But give that one to Manford.
Yeah, then you got Kingfisher and Christian. Kingfisher's a team that can run and go. I mean, we had them on the show at Dick's House of Sports. I told them before, if they didn't want to play basketball, they all could become models because a bunch of beautiful young ladies. But like I said, Coach does a good job out there. I think they had a guest speaker the other day, and Coach
Holbrook. Jenny Holbrook went out there and spoke to him.
Yeah, spoke to him. And I mean, well, who would you not want her to speak to? The young ladies won 3 state championships, 3-peat. One of the winning coaches here in the state of Oklahoma as a high school lady coach. But like I said, Kingfisher has a good team. Like I said, Coach, you got a chance to see them. You played in their tournament. I know they didn't get finished, but what do you think about Kingfisher?
Well, I think Abby Myers is coming on. She's the shooter. You've got a really good point, and I believe her name is Maddie, or she was on the show. She's one that had that last name was tough to say. They got good size. They've got the Hartman kid who's long and at 6 foot, 6'1", is having a really good sophomore year, Ella. And they're going to play hard. I mean, Coach Young's teams, when you play Coach Young's teams, you know that you're going to play hard. They're going to come after you. They got usually good shooters. But I think the Hartman kid covers his side, and then the Myers kid, and then got good guard play. So, I see Kingfisher going through the first 2 games and getting to that next game to get in that regional championship where they probably will play North Rock Creek.
Yeah. We're going to talk about them. North Rock Creek with a new head coach this year. Their coach goes over. She's over being assistant coach over at Bethel. But North Rock Creek's a team that, as a winning program, has done a good job over there. I don't know a lot about their ladies, but this is a team that can compete. Like I said, when you got Lincoln Christian and you got Douglas and Hare and some of these other teams in here, Locust Grove, it's hard to say, hey, man, how can we get there? The best thing you could do is try to put a plan together to get there. But I think it's going to be tough. But like I said, North Rock Creek's a good team. They're going to be taking on Seminole. So I think Seminole's kind of down. Looking at some of their scores, man, they've had a tough year. But, anything can happen when you get in the playoffs.
Well, it won't happen. I talked to Coach of Seminole. We played him, and, he's total rebuild. He's got like maybe 8 players. So it's total rebuild for Seminole. So North Rock Creek should be all right there. Should be all right second round against Manford. And like I said, and then North Rock Creek, congratulations to Addison Lawrence from North Rock Creek. She just signed, I believe, at Southwest Christian over in Bethany. So congratulations to her. They've got another guard that's really good. And they just scrap now. Their score's been up and down lately, so I haven't seen them play. One time they're winning, and the next time they're barely winning. So, I don't know what's going on there. If there's an injury that I don't know about or anything, but maybe they're just waiting to get the playoffs. You never know.
Yes, sir. In the last game that we didn't want to skip over was got Cleveland and Bristol. 2 teams I don't know much about. Don't know how far they can go, but anything you can speak on them?
Well, Bristol has got some nice guards. They play on a circuit that you probably don't hear much about. Cleveland lost their kid that went to the Tyson kid went to Berry Hill. And so what was really nice at Cleveland last year, where they had a bunch of tall young players, now they've kind of dispersed a little bit. So it's been a little bit of rebuilding there as well. That game right there, probably they're familiar with each other. They play each other, I think, twice already this year, if not in the tournament. Coach of Bristol does a good job. Coach of Cleveland does a good job. And it's going to be a good game. It's just going to be, I don't know how far they're going to go in the playoffs after that first game.
Yes, sir. Like I said, that kind of talks about the, Class 4A, a lot of good games, matchups. Like I said, that kicks off today. So, like, some games kicked off yesterday. Like I said, a shout out to Skylar. Just I heard she had a big game last night. I think she had 11 points. I think she said 12 assists. So, it's always good to see these young ladies when they can do big things, especially in this tournament. Skylar's a young lady that played over at Carl Albert and took her talents to Dale.
She got 1,000 points the other night.
Congratulations to her on that, man. I know we want to get her on this show. I know she signed to go play with the school up in Missouri. So excited for her, man. I mean, looking at Skylar, man, she's a big guard, coach. I mean, stood next to her the other night at the McLeod game, Washington game. She has great size. So, the college is going to get her is going to be one. She can probably play the 1, 2, and maybe help a little bit at the 3. Going to go play some Division II ball. But like I said, congratulations to her and her team, man. I think they're going to try to make that run for the gold ball. I know they came up short last year. I think they got beat by Baptist.
I think Merritt beat them last year, didn't he?
It was a Merritt. I thought it was a Baptist team. I know. I think the Baptist team ended up winning it. I don't know what's the name offhand, but like I said, I know Dell is going to fight to try to win it this year. I think they've got a couple losses. They've lost, like I said, they lost some not McLeod, but Millwood early in the year on a last second shot. So I know they're trying to redeem themselves. Got a chance to win out and won the tournament of champions. So this team's a good team now. Like I said, I think they lost to Frederick, but we'll talk about them as we get into 2A. But coach, like I said, 4A is going to be tough. It's always a tough. I think 4A and 6A are two of the toughest brackets in the state of Oklahoma, just because there's so many teams that can win it. Coach. I mean, you got your hands full. Your first goal is to try to win these two, and then get to whoever you get to in the area finals. I don't know if y'all call it area finals, district finals, but
we go area
finals, area finals. So it's gonna be really interesting to see what you guys can do this year. I know you're looking for big things, especially when you got 6 girls that are seniors that's been there, come close, got the chance to get to the door, then and end up shutting on them at the very end. But I think this year is a team that can make a big run. And like I said, I tell people all the time, you got one of the best shooting teams around the state. If these girls get hot, it could be a long night for whoever you're playing. Because if Lincoln Christian or Douglas or Locust Grove is not hitting their shots and you're hitting your shots, guess what? Like I said, you do got a young lady that kind of plays the inside game. And is it Maggie?
Yeah, Maggie.
Yeah, Maggie, she plays tough, take charges. She does all the dirty work that you might not see on a stat sheet, but she does get the job done. But like I said, you got some of the best shooters. Paisley controls that point guard up there on top. Like I said, you get everybody going, man. It's going to be tough for teams to beat you in 4A. Not saying because you're on the show with me, just saying because, I've got a chance to watch you play. Like I said, I know the first game is one game at a time that you want to do, then kind of go from there. But like I said, you set yourself up pretty. I know you lost some games that you wish you wouldn't have lost, but I think you set yourself up pretty good in this bracket that you're in.
Yeah, we, like I said, that was our goal, and I think we set up pretty good. Like I said, there's teams that we played that we feel maybe we should have won or we compete with. So I don't know if there's anywhere up and down that bracket for us that we feel like there's a total mismatch. You're going to do your thing and we're going to do ours, and hopefully we knock it down 3. Like I said, we've had good games where we've hit 14 and 12 and 15 the last 3 or 4 games. So we're in rhythm, which is what you want. And now it's time to play. We're 0-0. So what we did in Mount St. Mary's doesn't mean anything right now.
No, that's true though. Coach, like I said, man, we want to thank everybody that's still subscribing and liking the show. We got some big announcements to come up all through the Middale game. You'll be hearing Oklahoma high school girls between the lines. Me and Coach Vick. We've kind of partnership a little bit with the Oklahoma Sports Network that's going to cover all the Middale games, even Newcastle games. They got, I think, 14 teams they have, but they're going to be covering all the Middale games, and you'll see our logo up and then, mention our names. But as a first start for us to kind of get ourselves out there, branch a little bit more. We want to thank the people that's helping donation and sponsor us. Like I said, we'll be at a physician on Monday, talking about Britt case. We're going to talk about injuries. My goal is to try to help people, educate people, and how not to have to try to prevent these injuries. We can't stop it. Only thing we can do is kind of educate you on it, and that's what we want to do. Me and Coach Vick, and then like I said, thank you for Brent Case letting us come on and be on his show Monday. Like I said, we'll talk more 3A and then 2A at that time. Some of the games already been played, but we can kind of start getting deeper to who's going to face each other in that area championship. So looking forward to we'll probably come back Wednesday night and talk 5A. We already talked 6A. Shout out to all the 6A teams, man. I'm really intrigued to see that bracket. I know there's going to be some great matchups. I think that Tata Norm is going to be good. That Deer Creek Edmond Memorial, that'll be a good one. Then you got UConn, a team that
North.
Edmond Memorial, a team we got a chance to say the other night. That game could go. That's Deer Creek and Edmond Memorial can go the way, and Norman North and UConn. Two coaches that are really good friends that know each other. know how each other plays, and so play a lot of AU ball together. So that's going to be intrigued, though. But like I said, I tell people all the time, man, it's why it's called March Madness, because there's going to be somebody get knocked off. Somebody that's supposed to make it ain't going to make it. So it's tough, though. You know, you got a lot of coaches over there. I mean, they're going to be doing a lot of film studying. Not only they're studying for the first game, but you got to get compared for the second game because it comes that quick, you know. So you got to get this game Thursday, then turn around and play again on Saturday. So you really only got one day to prepare for your opponent the next day. So it's going to be tough, but it's interesting, though. That's what makes it fun, man. Everybody's sitting on their edges and what we're going to be, what we're going to play, and all that stuff. So it's going to be really fun, man. It's my first time, get a chance to do it as a father, to watch my daughter's team and other girls. So thank you for this show. It's helping us, get more names and get more teams and stuff out there. Like I said, once again, a big shout out to OSSA for doing what they did with Mark Rogers and Lenny Hatchett, breaking it down to 5A girls and boys. And then, like I said, I think that's big time to have, you guys kind of did a watch party, Coach. We didn't do a watch party. I did it in my own living room. me and my wife and daughter and son, he came over and cooked us breakfast. So shout out to Day coming over and making me an Eggman muffin. I didn't have to go to McDonald's, Coach. I had it right here in my own house.
You had McDougal's at your house.
That's it, man. Day likes to cook. So I got one son that likes to wrestle and one son that likes to cook. So I'm in paradise. But, Coach, anything else before we get out of here? I know you got to get ready for your big game tonight. Good luck to you guys. If you're not out, hey, folks, it's Saturday, kind of chilly Saturday morning. Get out and catch some high school girls basketball. I thought it was fun. Me and Coach got to sit by each other last night with his beautiful wife. And I tell you right now, folks, I'm going to start taking a little bit away from Coach. I'm going to have to get up to Coach's wife. She know the game. She knows the game, folks. She might be giving him the playbook before the game because we're sitting there and Tricia said, hey, they should have done this. That girl shouldn't have done that. And I'm thinking, who's the coach here?
She knows.
She knows it. I love it, though. But when you got a partner that's going to ride with you and sit by you and be there for you, man, I love that, man. And watching them two, they look like two young high school 16-year-olds sitting there watching the high school game, eating popcorn. So enjoyed it last night. Got a chance to go out. We didn't get a chance to talk to Katie. Might have been kind of tough because she probably was upset after being up 9 and losing that lead to a good Bigsby team. But, hey, I give her love because she played a team that she could face in the playoffs here in a few weeks. But great. It was a great matchup between two good teams. Like I said, pretty much Mustang dominate the game for 3 quarters and then kind of fell apart the fourth quarter. But one kid I'm going to tell you guys to watch out for, just a freshman, to CC. This young lady's a post player, man. She got great size, great footwork for a big girl. Keep that name on the watch. I know there's a lot of freshmen that people talk about, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to just talk about my own. I'm going to get other ones to look out. I mean, look out for this CC, Mira Harris over there at UConn. In the last few games, she's been balling out, averaging 20-some points a game. Peyton Jones, like that. Peyton Briggs over at Choctaw. She's going to step up since Edison Curry's hurt. She's got to step up and help Choctaw do big things there. There's a lot of freshmen on the other side of the state that, we don't get to see. Like I said, we talked about Zoe over there at Fort Gibson and Ava, so there's a lot of freshmen out there, man. When that freshman drops, the rankings, man, I mean, you're always going to have parents upset, but if your kid get ranked, man, be happy. That's just be a goal that you shoot for to try to get better for the next following year. But, Coach, anything else before we get out of here and let you get ready for your Saturday dress code, get you all fired up and get you going? Anything else?
Good. Everybody, good luck. Have safe travels.
That's it. But, folks, you know what time it is. Yes. Appreciate you watching another great episode of Oklahoma High School Girls Between the Lines with my man, Coach V. On this Saturday mornings, we break down the 4A brackets. Like I said, you'll catch us this Monday. We'll be over there at Middle City Position with Brent Case talking about Oklahoma High School girls basketball and talk about injuries and talk about 3A and 2A sports. And we'll come back to you on Wednesday and break down the 5A, a class that I know a little bit about. But I'm going to tell you something. Watch out for that lady. They call her the GOAT, Miss Jennifer Douglas. Don't sleep on El Reno. Don't sleep on El Reno. Jennifer Douglas has done it 2 years in a row when people say she ain't going to do it. And guess what? She'll surprise you. She'll be sitting at the big house, the new house, whatever house it is. She owns that house until you knock her off. We'll catch you next time on Oklahoma High School Girls basketball between the lines. It's playoff time, Coach. Playoff time. I love it. Yeah. Woo! Love it, Coach. Good luck tonight. I'll see you. See ya. Catch us next time on Oklahoma High School Girls Basketball Between the Lines with my man, Coach B. Like I said, it's playoff time. If you ain't ready, you better get ready. If not, you'll be at home watching your best friend play the game. See ya.
We'd like to thank the following sponsors: Above the Line Hoops, Prep Girl Hoops, Keep It 100, and for the latest in high school girls basketball action, check out the podcast on YouTube at Oklahoma High School Girls Basketball Between the Lines.